Greetings, Lucky Legends. My name is Lucky. This is Islagiatt TV. I'm your host for this video. Forgot to turn that on. And it is time for another episode of Islagiatt. And as you see by the thumbnail, this one's called Cops. I have never been to jail or prison. Hopefully my life will stay like that. However, I have had my run-ins with police officers, whether it's speeding tickets or car accidents or manhunt. That's right, manhunt. No, I did not murder 6 people and the police were on a manhunt after me. No. For those of you who do not know, maybe you're from a different country, maybe your social circle wasn't into this, maybe there's a lot of different variables. When I was in my teens, like my earlier teens, probably like when I was around 14 years old. Because this was probably around the same time as the swing jumping story that happened last time. We used to play this game called Manhunt, and basically it's a way of making hide and seek a little more adult. So the way that it works is that you have 2 teams. You have a team of hunters and a team of, men, hiders. You have the men and the hunters. Basically the way that it works, it has to be dark out. I mean dark. Like, the sun has to have been down for an hour. Here in Florida, in summertime, the sun can go down as late as like 8:30. And this, luckily we were not doing this in the middle of summer because it would have been very hot. This was in, I think, it was right before Halloween. Because I remember there were a bunch of Halloween decorations because we were using those to our advantage for hiding. So it was like the middle of October. So the sun would go down around like 7:30. And we went out at like 9 p.m. There were 6 of us. 6. Me, Game Chomp, Michael, Nelson, Daniel, and Craig. I think Craig was there. You have to remember, this is like 4 or 5 years ago, and we would go out and do this all the time. And the police have been called on us more than once while we're doing this. That's why I don't have the names right off the top of my head. Because this was not a one-time thing. This was the first time. Because we got used to it and started planning more and more, so it got less and less interesting each time. The reason this one was the most interesting is because of how I reacted, which you'll get to near the end of the story. So, again, me, Game Chomp, Nelson, Craig, Daniel, Michael. So, we are all going out. The hunters, Daniel, Nelson, Game Chomp. Daniel, Nelson, and Game Chomp. They're the hunters. Basically, the way that the game works is that half of the people go out and hide. You're given 5 minutes. And I forgot to pull up paint for this, but I don't really think it's going to be that necessary. We had like a 3-block radius. No, 2-block radius that we could hide in. My block, and then the block that's across the street from mine. Because I live on a corner. Like, well, no. It would be like this. I live on this corner, and we could go as far as... Wait. That corner. The corner that was like this. So, yeah. We could go as far as the corner that was like this across the street from mine. This is the house across the street. This is my house. We could go on our block and their block. We could hide anywhere we wanted to in either of those 2 blocks. Home base was my house. Basically, after 5 minutes, you have to sneak around without being seen and get back to my house. But basically, the way that you could do it, obviously, if you get tagged, like if they touch you, you're found and you are no longer eligible. Like, you have to go back inside and wait. The thing about this game is you wear all black, navy blue, all really dark green. Anything that helps you camouflage into the night. I was wearing, I think, a navy blue. I think I was wearing, like, you know the navy blue sweatshirt that I wear a lot on the channel, the zip up. I think I was wearing that and a pair of black sweatpants that I happen to have, and I was wearing my Batman beanie because it's dark. I've had all those things for a while. So I was wearing all that stuff, and I was hiding. And basically the way that it works is that you have two separate group texts. You have the one where you're group texting with your teammates, and you have the one where you're group texting with everyone. So between me and my teammates, we were communicating and planning. Because if we made any actual noise, the hunters could find us. And it was about 15 minutes into the actual game. One of my friends had been captured. And one of my other friends and I were now right next to each other. And I said, you go that way, I'll go this way, we're going to split up, we're going to sneak up on them. You work as a distraction, and I will run into the base. Because the way that the game works is that if one person gets in from the men, you win. So there's usually a minimum of one person waiting at the base to stop you, or to act as a deterrent, and then the other people are roaming around trying to find him. So he went off in the other direction, and I was hiding. I could not see the base, nor could I see my friends. I couldn't see anything. I was completely hidden. Nobody could see me. I couldn't see anybody. And I got a text saying, game over, the cops are here. But they sent it in the group text. So I didn't believe them. I thought they were trying to trick me. Because I'm smart. So I responded in the group text and said, nice try, you haven't found me yet. Because, again, I'm stupid. So Game Chomp tried to call me on the phone about 4 times. I rejected the call every time. One of my teammates tried to call me, and again I rejected the call because you're not going to answer a call because then somebody will find you. I thought somebody took their phone to try and call me because they knew I would answer if it was one of my teammates. That's how paranoid and dumb I was about this. And here's the thing, there are 3 different entrances to my neighborhood. I could see one of the entrances, and no cop cars came through that entrance. They went through one of the others. And basically, the game's about 30 minutes deep now. And both of my friends that are on my team text me and they say, we weren't captured, the cops were called on us. Seriously, we need the last person in the group here to agree and vouch for what we're doing, because we said there's 6 of us, we're playing a game. If you don't show up too, they won't believe us. Again, I thought, nope, Game Chomp took their phone and texted them, and texted me using their phones to try and trick me to come out. Because that's the type of cheeky bullshit that he'll do. I would have done the same. I'm not kidding, I would have done the same. Again, not the case. So it's about 45 minutes, and all 5 of them are looking for me until eventually one of them finds me. One of them finds me. Oh, and here's the thing. It's not like the cops gave up and let them all roam around. Each person in the group, there were 5 people, each one of them was walking around with a cop. Cop had the flashlight and everything. Like, there were 5 separate 2-man teams. In each 2-man team, one of my friends and the cop. Until eventually one of them found me, and the cop said, get the fuck out of the bush. And I said, okay. Because at that point I realized, oh shit, they were serious. The cops had been here for about 20 minutes now, and they were not happy. And they pulled me over and they said, Are you morons seriously playing a game where you're hiding in all black at night in a non-gated neighborhood? And we said yes. And they said, you're stupid, and let us go with a warning. A warning that we did not really heed because we did it again about a month later, and the cops got called on us again. Luckily this time, we had planned ahead a little bit, and we told as many of our neighbors as we could what we were doing. However, each time there was one neighbor. Basically what we would do, we would tell every neighbor on our block and every neighbor on the next block, because that's where we were allowed, that was our play area. But neighbors across the street from these blocks would call the cops because they see a shadowy figure hiding next to a neighbor's house, and the Good Samaritan thing to do is to call the cops on behalf of your neighbor. I would do the same. For some reason, that never registered with us. So that was the only time I've ever had an issue with the cops. As you know, I was in a car accident. That went fine. I got pulled over for speeding. I said, "Wait, please just give me the ticket. I actually am in a rush. I don't care if you give me the ticket. I just need to go." And they're like, "All right, fine. Here's the ticket. Get the hell out of my face." And I said, "Good. Bye." Sped off. Probably would have gotten pulled over again, but I didn't. But I've never had any bad run-ins with the cops. If you have, I feel bad for you. Basically, I'm a journalism major in university, and one of the classes that I took was Intro to Criminal Justice, because that was originally one of the fields that I thought I might want to do journalism in. Not anymore, but one of the things that you learn about in that class is how to deal with police officers, and basically keep them as happy as possible. Do what they say, don't argue, absolutely do not get physical, especially with everything that you've seen in the news over the last few years. Don't get physical with a cop. They have guns. You don't. If you do, they will use their gun on you, and you will die because bullets kill people. Guns don't kill people. Bullets kill people. Fun fact. Technically, the injuries from the bullets kill people, but you know what I mean. It would be quite difficult to kill somebody with an actual gun. Blunt force trauma would probably be the only way. But yeah, this is kind of at the end of this is kind of becoming a lucky PSA, public service announcement. But seriously, don't piss off a cop. If you want to make them laugh, that's one thing. But, you know, it's a fine line between comedy and douchebaggery. Like, if you want to play the theme song to cops when they're writing you a ticket, that's fine. If you want to spit on them because they're giving you a ticket, no. That's way too far. Basically, the way that I think about it, treat them like you would treat your family. Like, you'll fuck with them, but you know when to stop. Stop when it gets morally offensive. Don't be morally offensive. You want to be a little bit of a jackass, that's probably okay. But don't be morally offensive to the point where if you see them reach for their belt, shut the fuck up. Because there's nothing good on that belt. There's handcuffs, pepper spray, taser, handgun, probably a few other things that you don't want in the general vicinity of your face. So if they reach for their belt, shut the fuck up. Other than that, you're probably fine. If they reach for their pocket, probably not an issue because they keep paper and pens in there most of the time, from what I've seen. Belt, bad. Pockets, fine. But yeah, if they reach for their belt, shut the fuck up. Because a lot of bad stuff on that belt. Bad for you. It's fine for them, bad for you. And that's going to be the end of this Islagiatt. My boss watches these. I don't know how much of my channel he watches. I know he's going to see this part because I always send him these because these are funny. And I love when my boss makes fun of me because it's It's a leveling ground. Because if you make fun of somebody below you, it can be taken as degrading or abusive. But we do it to each other, so it's a leveling thing. Like he doesn't have a superiority complex, which some bosses do. He definitely does not. Which is why I love showing him these, because it's just stuff that it gives him ammo to use on me, which makes my time at work more enjoyable because he's always got some bullshit to crack on me. And I think it's funny. I'm not going to tell a story on this series that actually has like some sort of emotional negativity, because then I would not like other people to know about it. These are things that I love to tell people because they're fucking stupid and it's funny. That's the difference. These stories are about when I was stupid. Not sad, stupid. So, I think that's really all I got to talk about for this one. So, I'm going to get out of your hair. I want to thank you guys so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. But with that, I'm going to get about. Best luck out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.